Okay, so I'm going to really be talking about your blog as a business. So because of what I do, I get a lot of people asking me my advice, and really this encapsulates what I'd really like to say to each one of those people that ask me for my advice. And the first thing to do is really think of yourself as a business and do all the things that like business people would really do, like become a sole proprietor, right? Maybe get an accountant, all of these things. Like really treat yourself as a small business, because ultimately the goal is to create a repeatable, scalable business model. That's actually true of probably any business out there, right? To create something where you can, put in a little bit of money, scale it up, and you're able to kind of like make this money machine, so you're making more and more money by just putting in like a set amount of effort to earn more money, right? So that's the whole idea. So the first thing I would say is, if you're going to start a blog, you've got to be all in, or at least in your soul you have to be like all in. I'm not saying necessarily quit your job, although you may want to think about that, right? But are you, when you're not working, devoting every single waking moment to this endeavor? Like, because anything that requires passion is actually also going to have work. Like you, right, Ricky? You spend a lot of time doing what you do, right? And so if you want to be successful, look at how many hours you're spending on this, and it can't be like a 2-hour-a-week thing, at least not in the beginning. It really is, you need to devote yourself to the act of blogging, because this is a business, right? The other big thing I would say is, if you're going to be in blogging, think of yourself, are you a blog or are you a publisher? So if you were actually to look at my byline, I call myself a publisher. And because if you're a blogger, you think of yourself as, okay, I'm going to get up, I have my pajamas on, I'm going to get up to my computer, I'm going to write that post, press send, maybe do a little bit of social media, and that's probably what people think of when they think of blogging, right? When you're an actual publisher, a publisher of an actual magazine is responsible for everything. Is responsible for editorial, is responsible for sales, marketing, circulation, distribution, is responsible for all of that stuff. And it's really all of that you need to think about when you want to think about having a successful blog. So you have to kind of get your skills ready for all of those things that I'm talking about. That's why you'll hear me talk about it as an online magazine, and I don't actually call it a blog, okay? There's also, because of relevancy with advertisers, I think advertisers prefer to advertise on a magazine as opposed to a blog, okay? The other thing is to create a plan. So within a month of me launching, I actually got an article up on ProBlogger. And the article was all about, the guest post was, how do you forecast? The importance of actually forecasting numbers. And so take the time to think about what you actually want to accomplish. What are your goals for how much actual traffic do you need on that website in order for it to start making money for you? What are the things you're going to sell? What are your revenue streams? Think about, create a marketing plan. This is what people do. They create marketing plans. They create sales products and sales strategies. So go and create a plan, because it'll save you a ton of time later on. Here's probably something controversial. Who here, in blogging or even their business, has actually invested money into their business, either their own or gotten some kind of loan or something, right? Yeah, right? Because you need capital to actually start a business, People will tell you, oh, I said this thing about the $200, but really that was just to get the site up and running. I still needed to get a computer, right? I still needed to market it and network and create business cards and all of that. And if you can plan your capital ahead of time and know how much money you actually want to go into it with, you're actually going to have a better chance of success. So I would say, get capital, whether it's your own money, sure. You might want to go to the bank. That's ultimately what I went and did. I got a business loan from Royal Bank, and I'm also doing something, I'm also tapping into grants. So there was who was talking about the grants, right? Is it Stephanie Sang that's doing no? So Stephanie Sang happens to be my secret weapon when it comes to grants. She's a person that will fill out a grant for you and submit them, and then she does not get paid unless I get that grant. And I will tell you, she has raised for me, I want to say $150,000 in grants. Okay? So if you are not a business, though, you do not qualify for grants. So you need to start thinking about yourself as a business And I mean, the government, the BC government, the Canadian government has so many programs available to small businesses. They want you to succeed. So really look into them, because we pay those taxes to support people like us, right? Stephanie Sang, granted.ca. ssang@granted.ca. The other thing is to become an expert. Like, there are so many people in this room that are helping small businesses be better, you know? So learn to be, like, learn business best practices. Learn, what does a CFO do, right? What does a CEO do? What do all of these roles do, and how does that apply to your business? I'm not saying make your business a heavy endeavor where you're hiring all these people, but at least if you kind of say, you know what, I'm not really great when it comes to the books, I'm going to need to learn that aspect of the business, and then you can apply yourself accordingly. So if you are not wanting to learn these things, I think I was talking to you and you were saying that you had marketing was a bit of a weakness for yourself.
Marketing sales.
Yeah, so find experts to help you. There are so many of you guys in here to help each other, right? So hire one of those people, or barter, or whatever you need to do, and get some experts. And if you, especially yourself, don't want to be an expert. This is a picture of my coach, Felicia Lee. I actually hired her within 2 months of me not even 2 months, 1 month of me starting my business, because I needed somebody to kind of have myself accountable to, okay? So yeah, so I say all of that stuff so you don't go into your blogs or whatever your business endeavor is half-assed, right? You go into it, you commit to it, you plan for it, and you treat it like a business, because then other people actually start taking you seriously when it comes to this stuff. Okay.